Hi, this is part C, question 4. So we're continuing with part C. Now this question says Jack measured some pencils and then sharpened them. So when we sharpen a pencil, they're going to get shorter. He made them, it says he made them 1/10 shorter. Fill in the following table that will show the new length of each pencil as a decimal and then a fraction. Alrighty, so when working with 1/10, it's actually going to be pretty easy, and I'll show you why. So the first pencil, let's focus on pencil 1. It's currently 11.6 centimeters long. Okay, so that's before he sharpened it. And now he's going to make it 1/10 shorter. Now, how do I go about this? So what I'm actually doing is I'm trying to find 1/10. Now remember, of is that important keyword. We're finding a fraction of, and in this case, it's 11.6. Okay? That's my first tip, just to understand what is this, how do I approach this? So we're making it 1/10 shorter. So what is 1/10 of 11.6? Now I know I just turned of into times. So now I've got 1/10 times 11.6, and 11.6 can be written over 1. Now at this point, there's nothing I can really simplify because I've got a decimal up here. So I'm going to just multiply it out. 1 times 11.6 is 11.6. 10 times 1 is 10. What have I ended up with? All I'm doing is dividing by 10. And we have learned if I've got a fraction and I multiply the fraction with another number, all I'm doing is, and if I've got 1 on top as my numerator, all I'm doing is we are dividing by the denominator, the bottom number. So in this case, all I'm doing is dividing by 10. And dividing by 10, so I've got 11.6 divided by 10. Dividing by 10 is really easy. It's a power of 10. I just have to move the decimal point back 1 spot. So I end up with 1.16, and that would be in centimeters. So now be very careful. That is not how long our pencil is. That is how short, what's his name? Jack has made it. So that will be 1/10 of a pencil, okay? So then I have to get the original length. So it's 11.6 and subtract 1.16 from the original length of the pencil, and that will give me my answer. I can just set up an algorithm. So 11.6 take away 1.16. I can put a 0 in that space. Everything is lined up. Get our decimal points ready. Now 0 take away 6, I can't do that. So I'll take from the 6. That becomes a 5. That becomes a 10. 10 take away 6 is 4. 5 take away 1 is 4. 1 take away 1 is 0. And 1, there's nothing there. It's just 1. So the new length is now 10.44. So that would be the new length of the pencil because he's made it 1/10 shorter. Now, to write this as a fraction, this is easy. I'll just have to write 10 as my whole number, and there are 2 decimal places, 4 and 4. So I write 44 over 100. 2 zeros, 2 decimal places. Now, don't forget to simplify the fractions. We can divide them both by 2. I can see a higher factor of 4. I'm going to divide them both by 4. I now have 10. 44 divided by 4 is 11. Over 100 divided by 4 is 25. And there's my simplified fraction. Okay, and we'll just put centimeters as our units. So now the pencil was 11.6 centimeters long. It is now 10.44 centimeters long. And that's what it looks like as a simplified fraction. All right, let's try, we'll do 2 as well. And then I think you can do the rest yourself. So pencil 2 is 20.7 centimeters long. That's pencil 2. And once again, I'm going to make it 1/10 shorter. So same thing. And I know all I have to do, this is just saying divided by 10. Okay, 1 is on top. So all I'm doing is dividing by 10. And we saw why in the first example. Now, what is 20? So what is 20.7 divided by 10? Go back 1 spot. I now have 2.07. That is now 1/10 smaller. Centimeters. Now that's not the length of the pencil. The length was originally 20.7. So it'll be 20.7 take away 2.07. Okay. And now I can set up an algorithm. 20.7 take away 2.07. Put a 0 in that empty space. Decimal points ready to go. 0 take away 7, I can't do. So take from the number next to it, which that becomes 6. Now it's 10. 10 take away 7 is 3. 6 take away 0 is 6. Now I can't do 0 take away 2, so I must take 1 from that 2, and that becomes 10. 10 take away 2 is 8. 1 take away nothing is just 1. I now have 18.63 centimetres, and that is the new length of the pencil, 18.63 centimetres. And now to turn this into a fraction, easy. My whole number is 18, so a big 18, 2 decimal places, so 63 over 100. It's 100 down there, and that's it. I don't think that can be simplified. Always double check, and there's our fraction. So for each of these, you just have to divide by 10 and then subtract that length from the original length and then keep going. So we've got those 2 examples done. So you should be able to work out the others. Now let's move on to this. Write an expression for the following. Now this is where we have all these keywords. Sum, which is plus. So the sum of 2a and 3b would be 2a plus 3b. 8 less than 5a. We learnt that when we have this less than, we write this number first. 8 less than 5a. So 5a is first, and then 8 less than that. So just remember which order it goes in. Double of 6x, we have to times by 2 to double. And in this case, I can simplify this. 2 times 6 is 12, so I end up with 12x. But if you just had 2 times 6x, it's still correct. The difference, we know difference is the space between 2 numbers, so we subtract to find that space. So difference between x and y would be x take away y. 2/3 of 6. 2/3 is a fraction that looks like this. Of, I know in maths means times, and x is just my number x. Now I can make the times invisible. X is really on top over a 1. So 2 times x would be 2x over 3 times 1 is 3. So that would be the best way to write the answer. But even if you had this with the times, you're still showing you understand what the question's saying. With number 2, 9 times the number n minus 3. So 9 times n, so that would be 9n, because that's 9 times n, and then minus 3. The sum of 3x and 56, sum is addition, so 3x plus 56. The sum of 2l, 5m, and 3n. So just 2l plus 5m plus 3n. They are not like terms. We can't simplify them, so it just stays like that. Product, we know, is the answer when we multiply. So to find the product of 3x and 6y, we just multiply them together. 3x times 6y. Now, if you left it like that, that's fantastic. If you did simplify, it's still correct as well. 3 times 6 is 18, and xy just sit together. Okay? So either one's correct. The average of 4a and 8a. To find the average, all we have to do is add up the 2 values. In this case, there's 2. So it'll be 4a plus 8a. And because we have 2 terms and 2 values, just divide them by 2. So write them on top of a 2. If x represents any number, write an algebraic expression for the following. All right, 9 times the number. So they want us to use x for these numbers. So 9 times the number plus 5. So that'll be 9 times x, so just 9x plus 5. 1/5 of the number minus 7. So first we write 1/5. Now of means times, so 1/5 of x, and then minus 7. But first I'll simplify this. I know x is on top, so 1 times x would be x over 5. That'll be my final fraction. And then minus 7, minus 7. The sum of the number and 15. So the number, they've told us to use x. So I'll just squeeze it here. The sum of the number and 15 will be x plus 15, because sum is plus. Now difference, once again, is subtraction. Difference between the number and 9. So we write the number, take away 9. 5 more than the number. So 5 more than the number is first, and 5 more than that. So the number plus 5. It's like saying 5 more than your age, for example. Your age comes first, and then we add 5. Thank you.